this book, Personality Development. These are the ideas culled from Swami Vivekananda's complete works and compiled to form a personality development module. And every chapter will give us very insightful, profound suggestions. And if we follow them, we can really mold our personality towards fulfillment. And chapter by chapter, gradually, we will understand how this personality has to be unfolded. So, last time we discussed the introductory part. Now we will come to the first chapter. It is Personality That Matters, is the title of that chapter. Those who have books, they can follow. Those who don't have, they can scan this QR code so that they will be able to follow it on the mobile. So you can circulate this paper, maybe among us. You can circulate this paper. This year. Just pass it on. If someone is interested to read, I would be very happy, in fact, if someone is there who would like to volunteer for reading these passages, and then we can explain wherever necessary. So is there anybody who would like to volunteer? Is there anyone who feels confident and enthusiastic about reading? Anyone? But you should have a good voice also. You should not just read to yourself. Huh? You can read loudly? Huh.
What we want is to see the man who is harmoniously developed, great in heart, great in mind, and great in deed as well. We want the man whose heart feels intensely the miseries and sorrows of the world. And we want the man who not only can feel but can find the meaning of things, who delves deeply into the heart of nature and understanding. We want the man who will not even stop there, but who wants to work out the feeling and the meaning by actual deeds. Such a combination of head, heart, and hand is what we want.
So the first paragraph. Swamiji says that what is it that matters in the personality? Swamiji is saying that we want heart, a great heart. Then we want a great mind. And then we want a great action. Because action without heart is one-sided action. It is not holistic action. It is not wholesome action. It is impaired by selfishness or by some kind of narrowness. But if there is heart behind that action, that is heart of feeling, then what that action becomes complete. So the personality that we are talking about, the complete personality, if we want to make, the first requirement, Swamiji says, is greatness in heart. Then there comes mind, because mind is the instrument. It is the middleman which carries the feelings of the heart to the body, to the organs, to the hands. If the mind is having some kind of a restriction, some kind of narrowness, then what happens? The feeling is there in the heart, but the conveying instrument is not capable of carrying that feeling to the hands. So the mind will hamper the greatness of the heart. And then great heart is there, great mind is there, but great action is not there. Great physical strength is not there. Huh. Then what? We need require superhuman strength actually. Then what happens? Then also, the great heart or great mind is unable to really carry out that idea into practice. Greatness is there, but it is unable to manifest. Great mind, wonderful mind is there, but somewhere it is being hampered by the physical limitations. So all these things, when they are great, then the personality is fully developed, fully evolved. That is why the heart that feels intensely for the miseries and sorrows of the world, that is the heart that is great heart. Because the heart that sympathizes, that empathizes with people, that is the greatness of the heart. It it is happy when all of us are happy. It is sad when all of us are miserable. So that heart is in tune with other people around it. And then the one who can feel but can find the meaning of things also, who can delve deeply into the heart of nature and understanding. That is what a great mind. So it can go, it can pierce through the reality, these layers of reality, and it can go to the very crux of the thing. That kind of mind, that kind of understanding, that kind of reasoning. Mind means here intellect also is taken. You should have reasoning. You should not be swayed by your prejudice, your preconceptions, your some past impression. So we are so much cowed down by these prejudices and past conceptions that we are unable to pierce through the things that we are seeing. We are clouded. Then what is that? That also should not be. The mind that can pierce in the heart of nature and in the understanding, deepest understanding of things, not just taking things at their face value. That kind of mind, that kind of heart. And the man who will not even stop there, this much won't do. You have a great feeling, you are feeling miserable at other people's misery. You are having a great sense of understanding, going to the depth of nature and revealing its intricacies. You are having that kind of a mind and brain, but you are unable to express that feeling and meaning by actual deeds. You are actually not bringing it into practice. So what happens? Then also it will be insufficient. So what we want is a combination of head, heart, and hand. That is what Swami is teaching us.
You see what is happening all around us. The world is one influence. Part of our energy is used up in the preservation of our own bodies. Beyond that, every particle of our energy is day and night being used in influencing others. Our bodies, our virtues, our intellect, and our spirituality, all these are continuously influencing others. And so, conversely, we are being influenced by them. This is going on all around us. Now, to take a concrete example, a man comes, he is very learned, his language is beautiful, and he speaks to you by the hour, but he does not make any impression. Another man comes, and he speaks a few words, not well arranged, ungrammatical perhaps. All the same, he makes an immense impression. Many of you have seen that. So it is evident that words alone cannot always produce an impression. Words, even thoughts, contribute only one third of the influence. in making an impression. The man two making an impression. The man two-thirds. What we call the personal magnetism of the man. That is what goes out and impresses you.
So, what is this personality that we're talking about? Is the very crux that lies inside you. That crux is that which actually speaks, that which actually creates an impression upon others. And we also, when we are around, among other people, we also remember or get influenced by only that person whose personality we feel is developed. So that person may not be very articulate in his words. He may not be very clear in his expression. He may not be very sophisticated in his behavior. But still we see that that person impresses us. But somebody who is very much articulate, very much grammatical, very much impressive in his expressions, but still we it doesn't create a long-term impact on ourselves. So why what is the difference here? Is the personality that makes difference. Personality doesn't mean just the articulation or grammatical expression, your skill in language and all. What it means is real inner evolution. That these three parts, one who has grown, who has refined his heart, head, and hands, all these three, then automatically, immediately, you will feel yes, there is a uh, there, uh, there is a kind of a resonance in all these three, and then you feel that resonance. But otherwise, we don't feel. That is what here it is discussed.
In our families, there are the heads. Some of them are successful, others not. Why? We complain we complain of others in our failures. The moment I am unsuccessful, I say so and so is the cause of my failure. In failure, one does not like to confess one's own faults and weaknesses. Each person tries to hold himself faultless and lay the blame upon somebody or something else, or even on bad luck. When heads of family fail, they should ask themselves why it is that some persons manage a family so well and others do not. Then you will find that the difference is owing to the man, his presence, his personality.
So we see some heads of the family. Swamiji is giving example here. They are very successful. They are so much. They have control over the family that everybody will obey them. Everybody will ask them before doing anything, and then the whole family is as if under their control, under their umbrella. It is it is heading to or it is behaving under their control. But someone else is there in his family. Nobody is listening to him. Everybody is having that. No, what is there? We are independent. We are free to think. Why should we listen to our head of the family? Why should we obey him? That kind of family is another family. So if that we check the reason behind the failure, so to speak, failure of that person who is the head of that family. What is the reason for that failure? The reason Swamiji gives is that one is not looking at his own faults. What is the reason? Where I am lacking? He's not working on it. So that is the reason for the failure. And if that he works for his faults and weaknesses, then he can also become like the other head of the family who is successfully running the family.
Coming to great leaders of mankind, we always find that it was the personality of the man that counted. Now, take all the great authors of the past, the great thinkers. Really speaking, how many thoughts have they thought? Take all the writings that have been left to us by the past leaders of mankind. Take each one of their books and appraise them. The real thoughts, new and genuine, that have been thought in this world up to this time amount to only a handful. read in their books the thoughts they have left to us. The authors do not appear to be giants to us, and yet we know that they were the great saints in their days. What made them so? Not simply the thoughts they thought, neither the books they wrote, nor the speeches they made. It was something else that is now gone, that is their personality. As I have already remarked, the personality of the man is two-thirds, and his intellect, his words are one-third. It is the real man, the personality of the man that runs through us. Our actions are but effects. Actions must come when the man is there. The effect is bound to follow the cause.
So here, Swamiji is telling about the thoughts and ideas that have been left to mankind. How many are there which are original thoughts, original ideas? Very few. Other things are just so much of words, but not originality. And then he says those thoughts, original thoughts, very few of them that have been given by whom the people who are practically not very known to the world, very handful of them. And then what? They do not appear to be giants to us. Yet we know that they were great giants in their days. So we will see that, for example, if we take Ashtavakra, outwardly Ashtavakra was what? The person who was lame and who was bent in his physical body 8 places. Eight places he was bent. He would not be able to stand erect. He would not be able to walk properly. He would not be able to stand or do anything. He had to take the help of the stick. And that is what Ashtavakra, the Rishi, is said to be like. And that Ashtavakra Samhita that we study so much now with great reverence, the thoughts of that Ashtavakra are one of the greatest original thoughts in Vedantic literature. So what is that? He is a lame person who cannot walk properly, who cannot probably do his own daily routines properly. And that person became a rishi, and what? Because such a person, when he came as a young boy, he was Ashtavakra, young man. He came to the king's Janaka's court, and there was debate going on Vedantic literature, Vedantic topics. And there used to be that debate that King Janaka used to offer rewards also. Whoever will win, he will get a reward. Like this, there used to be to encourage people, intellectuals, to come together and debate on the Vedantic topics. There used to be a tradition in Janaka's court that people will every day discuss about various things, and they will debate, and somebody will win and somebody will lose the debate. So this Ashtavakra comes and challenges the greatest scholar in that court, and he defeats that scholar in his arguments, and he proves his supremacy of intellect, of understanding, of knowledge, and through that he establishes his greatness, and then that he becomes famous as Ashtavakra, and thereon he has many disciples. Even Janaka is said to be his disciple, one of his disciples. So such was this guru, who was outwardly what? He was a physically disabled person. But what is his greatness that here we are discussing? They do not appear to be giants to us. Do they look like someone like Alexander, who is conquering nation by nation and massacring thousands and lakhs of people and soldiers and whatnot, creating such a havoc in the world? Do we think there's giants like this? No, they are nobodies in front of these personalities like Alexander. They are unknown practically. But the irony of situation is that we call this Alexander that the great. But these people, the real great people, are never called the great. They are just called Ashtavakra. They are never called Ashtavakra the great. Why? They were the only people who had original thoughts. This Alexander, when he came to India, his guru had told him that you go, India is full of great spiritual teachers. So you bring some of those great spiritual men to our country. So this was told to Alexander. And he sends one of his associates to fetch one holy man. And there is a story that one holy man is sitting on the stone, that they are going on searching in different places. Their troops are going. And somebody tells them, yes, there is such and such a spiritual guru stays there. So they go fetching for him. And then he's sitting there on the one rock. And he's in his own world, in his own mood, is his own thoughts. Then that soldier comes and tells, our king has ordered that you be brought to him and we will be taking you to our country, Alexandria. Then he said, why should I go? I don't want to go. I'm happy here. I have no desire to go anywhere. No, you must come. No, it is our king's order that you should go. So I have no king to obey. I don't have to obey any king because I am the king of myself. So why should I obey somebody else? Then that soldier says that commander says that if you don't obey and come with me, then we will kill you. We will cut your head as a punishment of disobedience. Then that holy man is laughing at him, that soldier, that commander. Then this commander is perplexed. I'm threatening you of your life. I will take your life this very moment. I have a sword and I will kill you, finish you. It's nothing, not a big deal for me. I've been finishing thousands of people on the way. So you are just another one more. But that he doesn't care, that holy man. And he's laughing at that commander. And then he's asking, why are you laughing? Then he says, this is the blatant lie I heard today, that somebody can kill me, somebody can cut me. Then he says, how can it be a lie? How can it be this thing, such a laughable thing? Then he says, that what you will cut, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the soul, infinite, immortal. I am all pervading, all knowing, all blissful soul, which cannot be cut, which cannot be burned, which cannot be wet, which cannot be cut, destroyed. Nothing can be done to this soul. This is imperishable. So then he has never heard of this thing, that commander. Then he surrenders to that person, and then he says that he conveys this to his king, that no, there was such a holy man, but he did not agree to come with us. So this is the condition. This is the greatness. This is these great giants. You see, these were the giants who were sitting on a rock somewhere, bare-bodied probably. But what they were having, they were having the kingdom of God that has been talked about in different scriptures. That kingdom of God, those who have, they are the great giants because they come out with that original thoughts, original person. We all of us, you and me, are just their imitators. You and me are just very feeble followers of that great personality. But that feeble following is for the reason of developing our own personality. We also want to follow their path. For what? You and me want to become that personality.
The ideal of all education, all training should be this man-made. But instead of that, we are always trying to polish up the outside. What use in polishing up the outside when there is no inside? The end and aim of all training is to make the man grow. The man who influences, who throws his magic, as it were, upon his fellow beings, is a dynamo of power. And when that man is ready, he can do anything and everything he likes, that the personality put upon anything will make it work.
So that is what here it is said that what is real training, real education, and real man making. So that which is just outside polishing, that which It's just an external show, external ado, which of no much use. It doesn't make a lasting effect. But what makes a lasting effect is the inner purity, inner greatness. So when Swamiji stood in front of that American audience in Chicago in 1893, what he had not external beauty because he was a dark man with peculiar dress. He was standing there in front of the Chicago audience. Uh, and he was unknown to the world. He was not having that great kind of epithets and qualifications, PhD, uh, such and such university, IIT Madras. This kind of great, this thing is not there with him. The degree of IIT Madras, Swamiji did not have to pose there as with confidence. I am the alumni of IIT Madras. So this kind of greatness he doesn't have. But what greatness he has? That greatness which is not just outer polishing, but there which is something inner. So when he just said, "Sisters and brothers of America," the whole people, the audience, they are cheering up. And for a couple of minutes, they kept cheering. They stood and they kept clapping. What? He has not even started his speech. What he said? "My dear sisters and brothers of America." What is there in such a nothingness philosophy, nothing at great oratory? Nothing. These are as simple words as anything else simple can be. But what it created a kind of a shockwave among the audience. And they are standing and clapping for a couple of minutes. So we see some person comes and he doesn't speak much, but he makes such a great sensation he becomes. No? In your campus also you will hear some scientist, sometimes they will put a program, somebody speaks, somebody's this thing is there, lecture is there, and someone's just reading that board. Oh, he's coming. Immediately you are so much enthused. You want to go and attend that lecture. But he just another scientist maybe, just another professor. But his talks you want to listen. And so there are so many other scientists or professors coming to your campus maybe for lecturing or for different symposiums. But you are not very much interested in them. So what is it that makes an impact? That impact is made by there is something in that person that is in inner core that he has developed, and then that attracts you more. There is something. That is sincerity. He may not be a great orator. He may not be throwing great phrases at you, but there is sincerely he has followed something, his own stream of study or research or whatever, and then you know that whatever he may say in a very broken language or broken expression, but he has really given his life for that. That's why I want to listen to him. So why the Swami has to come here to talk about Vivekananda Study Circle, Swami Vivekananda? Because he is another Swami who is trying to practice Swami Vivekananda's idea. So in whichever way, he may not be a very great orator, he may not be a very great flowery speaker, but what makes him special is just because he is another Swami. In the same tradition of Swami Vivekananda, he is another Swami who is also rubbing himself, so to speak. He's also putting himself to the wheels of that Swamiji's machine, and he is ready to sacrifice himself. That gives a speciality. And that is why people who want to listen to Swami Vivekananda, they want to come to Swami Vivekananda's mission. And they want to hear from some mission Swami, some Ramakrishna Math Swami. Why? Because anyone will do. They are hungry to listen to any Maharaj or any Swami of Ramakrishna Math. Why? Because whatever it is, they may not be very good, well orators. They may not be great English speakers. They may not be able to express their ideas properly. But nonetheless, notwithstanding all these lacunas, what makes them special? It is sufficient for us that they are sannyasis. That they have put themselves 24 hours into seeking what Swami Vivekananda wants to teach. they themselves are trying to understand properly. So this makes them the proper instruments to carry on Swami Vivekananda's thoughts. That much impact may not be made by a layman who will talk about Swami Vivekananda or Vedantic thought. It may be a flowery, wonderful speech given by some professor, but that will be, of course, you will like it. Wow, wonderful. The professor spoke on Vedanta so nicely. But when it will come to living those teachings, you will always think, no, whatever it is, I'm unable to follow what that professor told. I understand, but I'm unable to follow. Why? Because that person who is teaching, he himself may not be actually putting himself fully to it. But on the contrary, a Swami who is not able to properly tell the things, explain the things, but you will say, whatever it may be, but he is the person who has put himself up to the wheel of Vedanta. He is 24 hours ready to practice whatever it takes. So, in whichever way, whenever it comes to following or imbibing something and transforming my life, I will bank on this person who is sincerely and completely dedicated to this, rather than one who can explain properly, but who is not 24 hours dedicated, who has not sacrificed. So this makes a difference between following somebody, getting impressed by somebody. So that is what is here told. That is the ideal of education and training and management. That we have to polish our inner self, really. And to polish that, what Swamiji says, the end and aim of all training is to make the man grow. And growth is always from inside. Growth is not external. If you just make your appearance good, then what happens? You are not just expressing yourself truly, but you are just appearing to be good. You are appearing to be great, but actually inside you have not grown. So that which grows in us, that personality, that is what is education, that is what is training and man making. And then you become a dynamo of power. Then you will act as a magic upon your fellow being. Now, people say, what an impressive in which sense? That yes, that person's really so sincere, so nicely he spoke. And then that makes a difference, that you want to come back again and again and listen to his ideas. And he can do anything and everything. That such man who has grown to that level, he becomes a dynamo of power. And when that man is ready, then he can do anything and everything he likes. That personality put upon anything will make it work. So a person like Swami Vivekananda, that is what we are actually discussing. He is the exemplification of this idea of personality. So a person like him, whenever he was put into any challenging situation, he could mold himself, he could grow himself up to that situation and prove his greatness, prove his strength, prove his intellect there. So that is what is the real personality. He has not undergone any course of lecturing. When he went to Chicago, he had not undergone any personality development course, any module. He has not undergone the proper professional training of giving the oratory. But practically speaking, first time he's standing before such an audience, American audience, and still, at the very first time, he is able to conquer those audience, their minds, their hearts. That is what Swami is telling you. You will become a dynamo of power, and that dynamo will then influence. Through that dynamo, you will, not by just outer polish, because there are so many such institutions, so many such courses you will see that they will give you outer polish. You come here, we will train you how to speak, how to stand, how to do different gestures and postures. They will teach you, but that gestures and postures and this thing will give effect. It's not that it won't, and it's not that it is not necessary. It is also necessary. The presentation also must be good. That is true. but only presentation will not do. You have a beautiful PPT done, but that PPT has no text, proper good content. The presentation is so beautiful, but the content is not there. Then what you will say, so presented so wonderfully, but there was nothing, no practically, no useful thought. Yeah, only some blah blah garbage was there. But whoa, wonderfully he has arranged it, wonderfully presented. That's what. But there is a content, and with a beautiful presentation, that will make a double impact. So that's what, when Swamiji went to America, then many times his devotees there, his friends and admirers there, who used to host him there in America, they used to teach him. Because Swamiji is a sannyasi of India. He doesn't know the American ways. And many times American people in those days, they used to tease his way of dressing. They used to pull his dress when he is walking on the road, because his dress was very peculiar. Very long robe, very different color, this kind of a dark ochre robe, and something like that. So these kinds of people, the Americans, they could not digest this kinds of weird dress. And they used to tease, they used to throw stones at him. They used to taunt at him. They used to pull his dress and run away, just to harass him on the road. Lot of harassment Swamiji has had to undergo and tolerate. So then his admirers and friends told him, Swamiji, you dress in this particular way, then you will be more impressive. So the dress that we see is the result of the guidance of those American people, that Swamiji started then improvising himself. And then it is their kind of, you can say, so to speak, orientation given to Swamiji. Then he appears to us in this American way of dressing. Otherwise, he was an ordinary looking Indian monk. So this is why I'm telling you is, there was a tremendous content inside, but people were unable to approach to that content just because of a dress. See, a great you can say one of the giants, one of the precious jewels of history of mankind, humanity, is walking among them on the road, on the street. But those people are teasing him, taunting him, throwing stones at him. What? Just because he was wearing a weird dress. They are not able to pierce through the dress, and they are not unable to understand something inside is there, which is transcending just the permutations and combinations of these different dresses. Dress loses its meaning when the personality inside is far beyond the levels of the greatness of the humanity. So this they could not appreciate. But when the dress is also modified to their appreciation, then they are able to quickly appreciate. Then they have no qualms or no problem with that. So this is what is this. Only polish will not do. Inside something should be there. There were so many great speakers in Chicago Parliament, but they could not make an impact. So that then there is, nobody can listen to them. Nobody remembers them. Only Swamiji is only remembered. In Parliament of Religions, there were so many Parliament of Religions that happened afterwards also. So many great speakers participated in those Parliament of Religions. Later on also so many are happening. Even now there are Parliament of Religions happening around the world. And many international level speakers will go. But the impact that Swami Vivekananda made, when there was no media, when there was no social media, internet, electronics and nothing, that impact still nobody is able to make, even with this Facebook and Instagram. So this is the thing. There was something in that personality. That is why we are having a study circle. What is that personality that it had such an impact? And then we have to develop that receptivity also. Because there is a person, like I told, there was a giant moving among them, among the Americans. But the receptivity is also not there. Someone else could, in that dress also, appreciate him. That Hale family, when Swamiji was sitting, despondent completely. Because he had lost his belongings, he had lost his entry pass to the Parliament of Religions. He has nothing. But what to do now? He is sitting in a park in Chicago. What to do now? How will I get entry to that Parliament? And then suddenly one lady comes out of that house which was opposite to the park. And she had noticed Swamiji sitting there in a very shabby dress, in a very not so attractive and appearance, because he was actually a kind of homeless person, moving around for looking for some kind of opening opportunity to get into the Parliament of Religions. So that lady comes out and asks, "Have you come here to attend the Parliament of Religions?" She's asking him. He has not talked to her. He doesn't know her. She doesn't know him. So that lady comes out of her house, approaches him, Swami Vivekananda, sitting in a park on a bench, and he says, "Sir, have you come to attend the Parliament of Religions? It appears to me that you have come." Then Swami is very much astonished. "Yes, I have come, lady, madam. I have come to attend." Then, would you mind coming to my home and accept my, uh, be my guest for that? I will be happy to have you as my guest. Then Swamiji is like, out of the blue, God sent, the help comes. And they become his greatest of the family, his closest of the family in America. That the very lady becomes his, they become his very closest of the family, so to speak. So they host him, they guide him. That three daughters of that lady become his very close sisters. He calls them sisters, hail sisters. And there is a lot of correspondence between them, very interesting correspondence, which is recorded. So we get it through Swami Vivekananda's published letters. So this, how did it happen? How that unknown person in rags is able to attract some unknown lady, and she hosts him in her home. An unknown person, will you imagine in America that somebody will go and ask an unknown person to come and be a guest in their house? So this is the thing that we have to actually pierce through in our personality. What I can do so that I will awaken there is something that is inside me. And after that awakening, then I can achieve anything. That is the last sentence. Then you can achieve anything. So that is what personality development and that we are talking about. And that is what this chapter was. What was the title? It is the personality that matters. And what is that personality? That matters. That we discussed. And we will discuss. What is the next chapter? Now we have to discuss the laws. So now we understood what is it that matters. Now how we can develop it. What are the laws? We have to understand. If we understand those laws, then we can practice them. Just like when I have to go to some country, I have to know the laws of that country. Because otherwise I will make some problem there. I have to understand the rules of traffic there. Whether it is left-hand drive or right-hand drive, or whether it is what kind of rules are there, traffic, what kind of dressing rules are there, what kind of eating rules are there, what kind of talking rules are there. Everything, every etiquettes and manners I have to understand when I have to migrate to that country. Otherwise, what will happen? I will end up in jail. So like that, here also, if I have to reach to that personality level that Swami Vivekananda is talking, I have to understand the laws. Otherwise, I will end up as a failure. So we will discuss about those laws in later on. First, we will discuss if you have any questions about this discussion.
I have a question or a thought. So in the very beginning of this chapter, we are the importance of the heart is stress. So when it comes to the earlier allegory of the chariot, you have the self, the passenger, the master, and then the driver. Is the heart? It seems like is the heart somewhere like in between the driver and the passenger?
Yes. Yes. Means, see, that allegory is different examples we give to explain us something that is subtle, that is unseen. So these allegories, these examples in our spiritual texts are given to approach those unseen things ununderstandable things with some kind of a framework, with some kind of a handle, with some kind of a direction, a pointer. So these are the pointers. So that was one kind of a pointer, this chariot example. If you have, this is another kind of a pointer, the example of a heart, head, and hand. So if at all you have to join or kind of correlate with these two different kinds of examples, you can somehow understand it in a way that, see, the soul in the chariot is sitting in a heart. So you can say the seat of the chariot is a heart. In a way that if you want to understand it that way, if you want to match these two examples, I would like to give you this allegory, that the seat of the soul is a heart. And if the seat is not open, seat is not good, seat is not broad and understanding, feeling that seat, then what will happen? Soul will not feel easy. Soul will not feel comfortable. It is contracted. Soul will get contracted. If the seat is not good, if the seat I am sitting in, so to speak, this is an example, mind you. It's a pointer. So if this chair that I am sitting in is uncomfortable, it has no cushion, it is very small for my size, then what happens? I have to practically stuff myself. I have to practically adjust myself into this chair somehow. And I will always be uncomfortable while sitting in it. So always I will be continuously thinking about this discomfort that I am feeling. I will not be able to attain to these things. I will not be able to concentrate on other things. So that kind of heart, which is construed, which is contracted, which is narrow, will not allow the soul to manifest itself, will express its greatness, its beauty, its grandness, its grandeur, its majesty. But the heart, if it is just like, for that matter, of king, he always sits in a very majestic throne. Always king is meant to sit on a majestic throne. It's not like a small chair is given to the king. So as a suitable, very, what you say, a very matching kind of a chair and sitting arrangement is made when some great person is coming. So like that, the heart, which is the seat of the soul, also should be majestic. It should be also grand. The seat also should be as grand as the king who is going to sit on the chariot, the seat of the chariot. So like that. So this is a very great chariot, and it should be a great chariot. It should represent that greatness of the soul which is sitting inside, the master. So then only it will be able to, the master will be able to express, and everybody will know its greatness. Oh my God. You see, you are going by a car, which is a 6-door, grand vehicle. It's like the presidents of countries, they travel. There are 6-door posh vehicles are there, cars are there. And then when they go, everybody will know by default that this is a president. Because nobody else is having that vehicle, That grandness is there in this thing. Like that, everybody will understand the greatness of the soul who is sitting in that heart, whose heart is great. Without the greatness of the soul, the heart cannot be great. That matches it. You see, the soul. His soul must be very great soul, because his heart. You see his heart. You see his mind. So that's this greatness. That's what that allegory with the child. I hope it gives some kind of a this.
We can obviously know what is important as single personality, but sometimes we may be confused by a person who is multiple personality. We may confuse it as like he is a So how do we identify?
So this is the thing. That's what we are going to study, the laws of personality. So those laws, when we study this personality development book in detail, in this like a course we are studying this. We are taking chapter by chapter. Why? Because everything is going to be unfolded. How to do it? How to recognize the great personality? How to really sense it? So we have how to develop that receptivity also. See, first what we will have to do, is to fast. You have to be receptive. Then only you can develop your personality. Because a great personality is not coming to you, going to come to you and bang your doors. That way, I have come. I am the great person. Come and adore me. Go garland me. No, you will have to be receptive. Your ears, your eyes, your everything, your mind is so much alert, so much hankering for that greatness that you are really searching it everywhere. That is what a seeker. Why we call spiritual seeker. The spiritual seeker is the definition of that person who is all the time aware, alert. He's looking. His eyes are like wide open, looking and scanning. Like if you have a Wi-Fi router and it is not detecting your mobile Wi-Fi, and it is just going on searching. When you switch on the Wi-Fi connection and it stays searching for Wi-Fi devices. 10 minutes, 20 minutes over, nothing. It is not detecting your mobile. It is Wi-Fi devices. So what is the use? The detecting receptive device is not there. So you are unable to connect with that device because that router is not good quality, powerful. So you have to go on doing so much things to get into the network. Like that, there should be a sensor which is so sensitive. The very moment some greatness comes, when slightest greatness, I will say, you will become greatly elated, overjoyed. Yes, there has come, somebody has come who has got a slightest of greatness. That okay, let me jump on, let me take hold of it, and let me get benefited from that greatness. The person who is thirsty, very, very thirsty, he will not care if it is a Bisleri water. He will not bother about it. He will just go any tap water. He will just go and first satiate his thirst. Because that is what he needs. That is what is receptivity, sensitivity. I want to satiate my hunger for greatness. So I will get it from anybody and everybody. Wherever I see a very iota of greatness, I will immediately absorb it. So that is it. So one side you have to develop the receptivity. If you are not, there is so much like a buffalo. You are, you are, you are so thick-skinned that somebody is coming and beating you and telling you that, oh, see, there is a greatness lying here. Look at it. See, Swami Vivekananda. This is Swami Vivekananda. Okay, what is that? Swami Vivekananda, what is that? Like this. If we become like buffaloes, not having any sensitivity at all, the person who is grazing the buffalo, he will have to go on beating them. Then only they will move. Is it not? And on the other hand, if you see some other trained animals, pet animals, they are so sensitive. You just make one sound and they will come running. They are so sensitive. They are so receptive. So that is the difference. See, greatness lies in everyone. We may think somebody is manipulating or manipulative or somebody is not having. Okay, you can just, what you say, be indifferent to that manipulation. You can save yourself from that manipulative tendency of that person. But you can just focus on whatever is their greatness in that. Greatness or goodness, what is. Now we may be manipulating, he or she, but there is something that I am interested in. So let me focus on that and what you say, neglect or ignore or save myself, protect myself from those things that I don't want. So this way also, in the world, we have to deal with so many people. And so many people have different types of goodness in them, some great qualities in them. Then how to deal with them? Then if you stop completely, if you completely cut yourself off because of their some quality, then you will lose that goodness also. Then what you can do is, you can train yourself to just be in association with that good quality of that person. The moment that bad quality is getting expressed, manifested, immediately you can cut off. So that person also knows, oh, see, my greatness, my goodness, only that person appreciates. And whenever I'm expressing that, then only that person is coming to me. And the moment I express my bad qualities, they are immediately cutting me off. So he or she will also be careful to be always good in your company or in your business. There are so many ways. You see, this that is the thing. There is no such kind of a there is no such master key or single solution. There are so many ways that we can go towards achieving this. Anything else that we would like to say, or shall we? What do now? Let us take from it. What was your conception of personality so far? One by one, you tell. Start from you. Yes, you should participate. You see, this is not. I always come to VSC and feel that this is not a participative kind of discussion. This is not. This should be participative. You should interact. You should go on uh, discussing your ideas. So you tell me, what do you think about personality and how it should be developed? Forget about what we discussed.
I think our personality should be, a person should be like that. He has some, and person should have empathy for others and have unselfishness. It is a manifestation of the person. To develop that unselfishness and empathy toward others, I think we need to be like open-minded. Be truthful to ourselves and following the truth
So you have quite a big list of all this. So, but what do you yourself do now? Now you share with us. So you have these expectations of being a great person. Now you tell us, share with us some one quality that you practice yourself. Among what those qualities that you told me. I'm coming to everyone. Huh? You help others.
I like to serve. And so I try to practice unselfishness.
You like to practice it, and you try to practice. Any example? Any even ordinary example? Can you quote? Just to convince us that you practice. It should not be that you just.
There is my blackmate for left hand. This line. He also got recorded. There are 3 years ago. So he lives outside the West Indian. His wife and daughter. So one night he called me because some his wife is that in the living field and no one is there to care for her daughter. So he called me. Have you come because there is no one inside the house right now. So if you come, you have to help me. So I went by saving pain and family.
So without the consideration of person's uh, background or his language or his uh, what you say, his kind of all those kinds of these things, you will, without considering all those things, you will go to help anybody. Not that just, oh no, he should belong to my what you say, my native place only. Not or my this like this, so many considerations if person has, then that will not call helping or serving. But if you have absolutely no consideration, uh, absolutely no this thing, no, that person has needs, that's all. What is the requirement? That he needs me and I. So that is what you follow. Good.
real life personality assessment, but practically, person's personality depends on the actions he has taken in the past and the situations he has undergone. So, practically, no one, according to me, no one is at the absolute perfection. But the important thing is that are we trying to go to that?
So, what is your take on this? How do you actually pursue this?
So my take is that I should be able to understand
So, what do you do for doing it? So, tell us one example through which we will understand your idea of some greatness. We are not talking about ideal great personality like Swami Vivekananda. Or for that matter, Swami Vivekananda also, some people were there finding faults with him. So we cannot call him absolute this thing, no? Because there were some people who did not get attracted to him. So let us whatever your consideration, someone maybe any quality that you find, as she told, she gave example, and then the way she tries to practice like this, we want to. Why? Because we want to actually interact among each other and try to understand, are we really pursuing this personality development? It is great. This is just a
there might be
share.
some ways I may pursue, but I don't like
But some small example we are asking, not like we have to give some kind of a very great example. What do you want to, how the way you practice? Some truthfulness or whatever. How do you keep aside your selfishness or your narrow-mindedness or your prejudices to go to transcend and to reach to higher personality?
I'm not sure if I'm that.
Uh,
I don't think I'm the judge to decide whether I'm conscious. It will be others who will decide, right?
hmm.
So I do not really sure.
It will be others who should decide, who will decide that what they will decide.
That if I'm unselfish to them or I'm very selfish to them,
Correct.
my definition may
Okay, unselfishness, okay. But there may be something else that you can yourself decide. You can know in yourself, yes, that I have this, unquestioned this. I don't, it doesn't need somebody else's certificate, you see. That some things are there in you that we have to find out, no? Because those are the things that make us personality. That is what we are talking here. The crux of the personality in everybody of you. Ah, why we want to discuss it? Because that is what the key for your progress is. Something that you have never given attention to. That is what I am wanting you to give attention. My whole intention is this. I don't want to expose you because I'm not asking you to tell your bad things. I want to expose your good things, and not expose them to others. Expose it to yourself.
maybe this thing that I don't want to expose at all. This might be
Unless you expose it to yourself, how will you progress? How will you know first? Exposing to yourself, what is your personality?
I know I don't want to expose you.
Okay, further, let us finish it. You.
Comes at that time. It should be developed. So, for striving, our heart knows that even
Just a little louder, because
so there is a logic for us and there is an intention for us. So sometimes due to the less information we got from the surroundings, we may not be able to see the whole picture of developing. So our logic is little simplified, but it doesn't have sometimes a meaning. It doesn't. It sees our heart sees something and it perceives that yeah, this is the whole picture, but it is not. So after receiving uh, some experiences, then it feels that these are things I'm perceiving is some are correct and some are incorrect. So some we somehow define some things and try to change accordingly. And at that time, of changing things. At one point, we feel like our intention will not change, even though whatever the surrounding is. At that time, I think personality is fully developed. Our intention does not change.
Acha. Okay. What is Ayan? What is your take?
I just want to give one example of a personality. Like, so many people. So one, there is one husband wife in this department. They actually people. There are many people over here. They come from northern and eastern states. So they don't like the food. This food in the southern part of it. So this couple, they started this food. This what is business. That means they prepared food that is for Eastern Indian cuisine, especially for the Eastern and North Indian students. So they prepared food and they started selling at a very nominal price compared to what in Chennai, because it is very costly. All those things are very costly. But they tried to cook food and deliver to each and every hostel. The husband and wife they had a scooty and they cooked food on the afternoon and at night. Usually they delivered food at the night time. So they delivered food and whatever money they collected, they went back home in Kolkata and they have one orphanage where they use that money for the development of that.
Oh,
So I like those people who, such kind of people who,
they are very really having very unselfish way of helping others.
this is one example I came across.
Good. So you want to you try to do something like this? Something, not exactly this thing.
And not exactly, I don't know how to do, so I can't do this particular thing. But see, last Saturday I was not able to do it, last Sunday because we had our open day. This thing. There's students from all over Chennai and Tamil Nadu. They came and
Yes, we had some.
so
See.
yeah, that visited us and I demonstrated some science experiments.
Oh, acha.
They were very excited to see the science in front of them. So that was very satisfying for me as a if I can popularize science experiments to the students so that they can. It's not like just going through book and doing the science. That I can show them the experiments and they can instill some curiosity in their mind. That's the way I practice. I like to practice.
That's awesome. Okay. So that's one way of it.
I think in the past class we discussed that the personality is what is how a person reacts to different circumstances.
I'm not able to get.
You ask me to follow some greatness inside you. But what I am thinking with my delays, we have a very impressive way. I think after 12, there will be 10 to 15 students from other. We have a very village, around 5,600. 10 to 15 students will be going for the undergrad and for this practice. So I am planning to do something so that I can increase the number of students and education.
So, for me, the definition of personality so far is confidence not to face any situation, being conscious for every time we take any decision, regarding that decision, I have conscious for every time, and believing myself that situation happens to me. So, face the situation because it gives me some experience, whether it is bad or good, that doesn't matter. It gives me some experience.
So you'll face it, whatever difficulty or challenging situation, and that is your way of understanding the person.
Each and every time, each and every day we live. So we are living by experience. We are surrounded with people and they are giving their knowledge, thoughts, and receiving those things and understanding that nothing is
many of us feel like how to just carry self various kinds of things. So, for example, I would like to give you my CV in my lab. So, when we were newly joining PhD, we used to go and discuss doubts with him, and he will listen to us. Even if we pose some silly questions, he will not tell us what to do with the silly questions. So he has a very unique way of listening to us. And at the end, he will get about what I was asking is wrong. But this person did not get me to I was asking something. So, you see, like, so you convey the idea without, making other person feel bad or inferior or something. So I think that was a very interesting idea. That quality impressed me, and I tried to invite.
Already, fearful to contradict with the past. So because such certain things should be
Able to openly change them if required. If we want to modify our past these things, mistakes.
should be strong enough to contradict our thoughts.
Strong. So that was one of the qualities that Swami Vivekananda was also having. That he used to immediately accept. Whenever somebody told him, he had a kind of a prejudice, so to speak, or some idea that such and such thing is like this. But somebody proves to him, no, whatever you had idea for so many years, that is wrong. When somebody reasons him out and convinces him, he immediately, absolutely, completely used to accept a new idea. And thenceforth, he used to say that previously I had a wrong idea. I was believing and holding on to a wrong conception. But after such and such experience, I have this now. This I have complete this idea. So this kind of acceptance, you see, that not that I have been always great. I have always been true and correct, but I'm also changing myself, modifying myself. This kind of that he told quality was there in Narendra Nath also. He used to immediately accept his mistake. Till that time, he will be very aggressive. Till that time, he will be vehement in preaching his idea. He's telling it to everybody, whatever he is convinced about. He's very aggressively convincing others also. But the moment someone he meets that he has refuted logically or otherwise by experience, in any way, if he is refuting his idea, immediately he is converting himself and he is telling others, no, previously I had this idea and this conviction, but after such and such experience, I am now convinced that this such and such thing is the truth. So, like this, what you told is one of the great qualities of Swami. Anything else you wanted to say?
Okay, so before I guess these talks, what I thought about personality is sort of in a way, it's like the outer layer where we have the self and we have our identity and we have our ego, and then the personality is the how we interface with the world, how we act, uh, how we act into the world, and how we are seen by the world. So it's sort of, in a sense, it's almost like the outer layer. That's my interpretation of the word. Um, so I guess what would be the next part of the question is like, what is the proper personality? I guess. Well, now I'm very influenced by all the talks here, so it's hard to say what I've been said before. But I guess like you have to have two things. So you have to have trust in yourself, and then also trust in what you are doing. So if you are like certain, or you have some level of belief that what you're doing is the right thing to do, and then also you are not hampered by your own self doubts about whether you can do it or not. Personality, a person like for me, I would say I have I have quite a lot of confidence in myself. I have less confidence in what I'm doing. Like my doubts are mostly about whether what I'm doing is correct, I guess. So in terms of today's lecture, I guess it's I think that's sort of talks about the heart, or like having like listening to your heart and having like some sort of connection of like, to the feeling of what is right, what is the right thing to do, what not to do. So yeah, how to practice that? Well, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping that we cover it in the following lectures. How to listen
Yes.
to yourself. Um, how do I practice it? I don't know. Yeah, I guess another thing is like trying to. It's not directly related to this, but it's just trying to connect to also like the hearts of other people. Like trying to kind of get this type of connection. Like, try to like like maybe joke around or like try to shake it up. Or maybe that I'm hoping that will help.
Ah, good.
For me, personally, children development of my leadership with some good qualities like being honest, being kind, kindness, and unselfishness, as well as sacrifice and advocacy. I love to sacrifice some little sacrifice. Whenever I'm going to some other in some restaurant or dinner or some food, so first of all, I try to think that okay, the other beings, how they will be adjust that how which seat they want to sit, which of the position they like to sit. And the important thing that you just take your whatever decision I do, then I have to sacrifice.
So that way you feel that your commitment or your this thing with the class. That is what. So this is just a sharing. You see, we are not immediately we are not sealing everybody's opinions that or views that yes, this is their final. We are just share something so that we will go when we are discussing this personality development book, then we will be more. Uh, I will be also in a better position to understand that what kinds of different definitions that are there in everybody's mind. So then I will be able to come up, if at all possible, with some suitable examples that will relate with your understanding of personality. That's why this is whole thing. And then you will also be able to share, okay, Swamiji, what you are telling, what your examples, they should be like this. I am unable to understand it. That also, if you feel, you should be openly able to tell me, no, I am not able to understand your such and such example. Or I don't think that your such and such example is actually pertaining to that idea. It is not actually going in line with that teaching. I don't think so. then you need to explain to me why do you think like that. So this kind of interaction should be there. Then only there will be learning. Otherwise, what we'll just read this personality development book and we'll go ahead, and just it will be just one thing completed. So this is not a course book as such that we are compulsorily following and we are going to do. But it will be beneficial only when you dig out, you challenge yourself, and you express yourself. Then only these sessions are helpful. No? These sessions are not for just coming here, opening the classrooms, having the key, arranging the key, and switching on the lights and fans, and arranging a laptop and writing this thing. This is not the only intention of coming here. But you should be involved. You should, in whichever way possible. Unless that involvement is there, unless that something is there, then that interaction is not happening. That learning is not happening. That's why you will feel like an alien sitting here. Why? What am I doing here? What have I to do here? It should not be that way. You should be very much aggressively, actively participating in this. Is it not? If there is a kind of what you say friction happening between you and me, intellectual friction, idea-wise friction. That the idea that I'm expressing, you are counteracting it, and through that friction only, there will be a kind of churning will happen. Otherwise, I will come, I will read a book, I will tell something. Some of you will nod your heads, some of you will not, and then you will go back, and then some of you will find some excuse to discontinue, and some are like this. So this will not go like that. So let us attend these things full-heartedly, not half-heartedly. Then only I will also feel, you see. Otherwise, I will also feel half-heartedly. If your participation is not aggressive, it's not really 100%, then I will feel, I'm coming to a batch of people who themselves are coming not very serious, they are casual. I'm coming to talk to only casual people. So then I will also not feel that. And the things will not come out of me. Yeah. So actually, I am not the one who is teaching or speaking. It is actually you people who are making me speaking. If I gave a good example, if I gave a good explanation, it is not me. It is you. Because you all people created such a vibe, such a environment, an atmosphere by your readiness and receptivity that things started coming out of me. And many times I myself will not know. And I will be astonished and surprised. I never had this thought come. How did this thought came here? So it is you who are going to do this. So that's why I'm asking you that be participative, be 100% here. Then only it is beneficial for you, this VSC. And this VSC is for that. It is an extracurricular activity. It is non-academic activity. It does not got any exams and any this things. So your participation is the only certificate. That is the only thing. So we will conclude this live stream here and then conclude today's session also. Thank you.